So this is a live stream of Gemstone 101 class. I'm just going to wait. This is a live stream video. So Gemstone 101, I'll be talking about the basics of gemstones, but also going into detail about some other gemstones. So one, I'll be talking about what are gemstones and why are they impactful? You know, do they really work? Let's address some of the myths. Let's answer questions when it comes to what people want to know about gemstones. Really, the main thing people want to know is, like, for real, do they really work? How do they work? You know, and so a lot of times I like to explain the scientific element of gemstones so it won't seem so mystical, because oftentimes gemstones can seem mystical. So I'm certainly talking about that. I'll also be speaking about how to choose your gemstones. So you get into it, you start seeing all these videos on gemstones, you're very interested, you want to know what's, you know, what it's all about. How do I start? Like, what do I start with? I'll be talking about that as well. Then talk a little bit about the different variations of stones. You have tumbled, you have rough. If you follow any of my work or you purchase anything on my website, you know that I have the rough stones versus the tumbled stones. So I'm going to be talking about, like, what's the difference between that and how do you choose, where do you go to get your stones, things of that nature. Then we'll talk about, once you get your stones, how to prep them, how to cleanse them. I do suggest that you cleanse as soon as you get your stones, especially if you get it from someone. If someone gifted you a stone, you definitely want to cleanse your stone. Then I'll be talking about how to charge it. Then, of course, how to use it. The worst thing I think anyone can do, I won't say the worst thing anyone can do, that's extreme, but it really would behoove you to work with your stones if you really want them to work for you. A lot of people purchase the stones, they're very pretty, they'll put them up, but you don't never really pull them off the counter ever. You never take it off your dress, you never take it out with you around town. You know, you're supposed to, what I say, rock with your stone. Rock with your rocks so that they can get connected to you. After that, we'll talk a little bit about some of the most popular stones. I pulled some out here, and I'm going to give you a little example of how you can cleanse the stone. So I have some cleansing agents with me here, and I'll be showing you how to use these in order to cleanse your stone. So again, we're just hopping on. We're only 1 minute past 9 a.m. If you're watching this as a recorded video, this is live stream. So I am going to have a Q&A at the end. So I totally understand if you get off at the end part and allow for the Q&A. But please do stay if you have questions, because this is what this is for. This is actually a class, a live stream class of my Gemstone 101 class that I usually do once per month in Atlanta at Iwi Fresh Garden Day Spa. And I usually do it last Saturday of the month. I'm changing now. It'll be the first Saturday of the month at Iwi Fresh. And then after the class, I do this pop-up shop. So if you're watching and you're in Atlanta, remember the pop-up shop. Don't forget to go out 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the pop-up shop later today. So I think what we'll do is we'll wait for 2 or 3 more minutes just to see. I see some people coming on. I just want to make sure everyone who registered, we have about 30 something registered today. So we're just kind of waiting on them. Want to make sure they got the link this morning, wipe the crust out of their eyes so that they can tune in. Before I get started though, go ahead and get your pen and paper, because if you know any of my work, I talk a little fast. And I try to be relatable, but sometimes if you have a question, if it's totally going over your head, the chat is activated. So go ahead and ask your questions and I'll answer them, especially if I'm going over your head with any of the language that I'm using. All right. So get your pen and paper. Also, you can go ahead and get your stones. I am going to do an example of how to cleanse them. So you can, if you have sage or Apollo stick or any oils, you can definitely go grab your oils. I'm going to show you how to cleanse them and charge them. And if you have any questions, regarding that, you can ask those questions in the chat. So while we're waiting, I'll tell you a little bit how I got started into gemstones. I was raised Southern Baptist in the church every day, if not every day, every other day. And I have to tell this story this way because it's the background of kind of how I got to this point. So I was raised Southern Baptist, ended up as I was in grad school, had a professor who I was totally captivated with. His name was Dr. Asa Hilliard III, none before. Those who love him know him as. And he taught me about ancient African history. At that point, hey, Joanna, at that point, I didn't know a lot about ancient African history, believe it or not, even though I was very cultured, very much so adamant about my people. I didn't know a lot about my African history. So once I started learning about that, trust me, one day I heard that one of the ships that my people came on in during the kidnapping from Africa, slavery, was called Good Ship Jesus. And that's what sparked all of my questioning about religion. That day in class when I found out that one of the ships were called Good Ship Jesus. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And then everything kind of opened up for me. And that links to gemstones, and I'll tell you how. Because once I started learning about ancient African history and started researching religion, I quickly realized that I don't know if I totally resonate with religion. So what I'm going to do is I want to learn what my ancestors practiced. And on all accounts, once I started looking for that, it was ancient African spiritual systems. Amongst them, I started to read about the work with gemstones. And once I started studying spiritual systems, a lot started opening up. You know, I started learning about chakras, gemstones, spiritual baths, how to use sense, how to use sound frequency, how to use your words, how to use your mind. I started learning about a lot of things that we connected to. So it stretched far, far from religion and became spirituality, where I was like, oh, this is spirituality. And spirituality is really, I think spirituality is your ability to tune into and utilize your energy. Your energy, ENERGY, and your energy, INNERG, because the energy around us is totally the same energy of the universe. And so once we realize we have that connection, we can begin to utilize that energy for manifestation and healing. And that's what I think is sound spirituality. If you can use the energy around you and your energy, then I feel that you are spiritually aware, you are spiritually enlightened, and you can use your spirituality for good. All right. And so nonetheless, that's how I ran into gemstones. It really resonated. Out of all the things I started to read about, the different tools I can use in order for me to work with the energy around me, that was one of the main ones that resonated with me. I love the way they looked. I love the way they felt. I love that you can take them with you. I love that you can choose so many different varieties. It's kind of like if you are a natural healer, you know that your cabinet full of oils and herbs are what you go to. And so whenever you feel like, you know, man, I maybe I need to relax, or my stomach hurt a little bit, I need to go get some ginger tea. I need some lavender to relate. You have all these different varieties of teas. It's just like that with the stones. Like if you're in the mode, you can kind of check your mode and be like, what mood am I in? And you can, by all means, you can pick a stone to amplify that mood or balance that mood out. And so that's why I love gemstones, and it resonated so much. I also began to study a lot about the lunar cycle and how the moon actually impacts us and it impacts the energy on Earth, which in turn impacts our energy. So those are two things that I really connected with, was that lunar cycle, full moon, new moon, waning moon, waxing moon, and also the gemstones. I do create spiritual baths and things of that nature that I read about. I love those. I also love prayer beads. I use prayer beads a lot just to keep my energy balanced so that my portals can stay open, so that my vortex can stay amplified. And I use some other things, but gemstones and lunar cycle, we good. Give me a full moon and an obsidian stone or a tourmaline, and we're good. You know, I can make some things happen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We'll start with the topic of how do gemstones work. All right, so all gemstones are pieces of Mama Earth, right? And so for you to understand the power of this, you must understand the power that Mama Earth possesses. Mama Earth possesses the power to create plants and herbs that cures any ailment that our body ends up having. Literally, on this planet somewhere, Mama Earth has produced everything that we need. Anything that you look around you was produced by Mama Earth. So everything around you possesses that energy. And of course, the sky, the water, the moon, the sun, all of that possess energy as well. And we possess energy. As a matter of fact, we possess 7 energy centers. And these 7 energy centers will become something that's important for you to learn about if you really want to get into gemstones. Because really, the gemstones are resonating with those 7 centers, right? So those 7 centers are what people call chakras. And they go from your crown of your head all the way to the pit of your feet. And, or really it's the bottom of your stomach. Your private area is where the last chakra center is, but that stretches all the way down your leg into your feet. So these energy centers, if you think about a machine or a robot, they go like wheels, right? They're just turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning in your body. And when they're at full force, you are feeling vibrant, you're feeling at peace, you're feeling capable, you're feeling courageous, you're feeling brave, all those beautiful words that we want to feel in our lives. When our chakras are all balanced and in sync and doing their thing, then we feel that way. When we begin to get 1 or 2 chakras off, what happens is, say you get hurt, somebody disappoints you, your heart chakra have a little flinch, like, oh, no, how you do it to me? So now you have those chakras up here, they're going, but then when you get to the heart center, it's like, So in a machine, if all of the wheels are going together and then something happens and one of them starts slowing down, what happens to the rest of the wheels that are going down? So that's the same thing that happens with the 7 energy centers. When you have one off balance, let alone 2 off balance, 3 or 4 off balance, then you start to feel fear, you start to feel sluggish, you start to feel resentment, anger, all of those things. You start feeling like you got to control everything. You're way too controlling. You feel like your ashe is dim. You feel real like in your shell. You know, those are indicators that your chakras are off balance, because we are meant to live as a vibrant life as a tree that continuously grow, no matter what's in its way, continuously grow up towards the sun. That's how much we should be vibrant and free to live our lives. So that's the chakra centers are very important to learn, because these stones here, they connect with those. So and you know it by color. Eventually you'll learn it by color. So you have clear ones. Where are my clear ones? I don't have my big chunks of clear with me right now. The clear one is your crown chakra one. That's the all chakra one. And then all of your quartz, they kind of resonate in that area. So clear quartz, smoky quartz, rose quartz, all of them really resonate in your top part of your body. The rose quartz for the heart as well. Then you have amethyst, that's for the third eye, or first eye, I like to call it. That's a purple quartz, amethyst. And that's for the first eye. So you have the crown chakra, the first eye chakra. The crown is the clear quartz or the smoky quartz. Third eye or first eye is your amethyst. Then you have your throat chakra, and any of your blue stones, they resonate with your throat chakra. It's even if it goes into like the bluish greens, that's resonate with your throat chakra. That keeps your speech impeccable, keeps your speech divine, keep your temperament or your emotions from being all up in your speech so you can't get people to understand you. After your throat chakra, you have your heart chakra, and that's right around the heart. All right, and that's the green stones. You have some green stones as well as pink stones. Really, the rose quartz are ones that you can use with your heart chakra. Then you have your solar plexus right below your heart chakra. And citrine is really good for that. I love citrine, you know. And the solar plexus, I say that's our internal sun. If you think of the word, you can remember that chakra by thinking of the word sun. And solar plexus is like our sun, is our energy, is our life, is our ashe. So it's like when you walk in the room, like, oh man, she just shines a light and da 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 da. That's when your solar plexus is on point, or when people really can connect with you, or people really can feel you when you as a friend or as a loved one, they really can vibe with your energy. Your solar plexus is on point, and that's citrine, citrine there. After the solar plexus is your sacral chakra, and that's that will be carnelian, you know, your burgundy stones, your orange stones, your a mixture like your brown stones. Those are usually your sacral chakra. That citrine as well, any stone that is like a yellow hue, you know, zebradorite, that is a solar plexus stone like the citrine, but it's like cream and it has some yellow goldish tone, clear looking stone in it as well. Then that sacral chakra, like I said, any of the orange hues, any of the orangish brown hues, those are usually your sacral chakra. And then your root chakra are usually your deeper burgundy, red, and black. As they get darker, that's when you know it's the root chakra. So as you see, I just ran down all of the energy centers, and I described in categories which ones those stones, if you got your pink, your clear, your purple, your orange, your burgundy, your black, they usually connect with a certain chakra. So it behooves you to just learn at least what do these chakras control emotionally. That's the biggest thing, because what happens with us as humans, spiritual beings having a human experience, some of those chakras get thrown off and we react emotionally and we attach emotionally. And that's the human side of us, right? So the spirit side of us should just go ahead and say, oh, I need to just rebalance, and go ahead and just rebalance and strive to be that that person who is at optimal peace, health, love, strength, patience, all of that stuff. You know, that's what we really want in our lives. So what you saying, Mama Yenn, as Joanna called me, what you saying, Queen Yenn? I'm saying that as you balance your chakras, you'll begin to see how aligned you are with the universe and how you can flow much easily, how you can definitely relax more easily. And that's what the goal should be. You know, we really mostly what people want in life is to manifest, is to heal, is to be happy, is to have great experiences, is to share those experiences, is to impact somebody else so they can have a good experience. That's what people generally want in their lives. And so the gemstones are just there to kind of help us out to get there as we live this human experience. Because this human experience is full of things that we attach to. We attach to our loved one, we attach to our things, our careers, we attach to all these different things. And that attachment could have an impact on how we view the world. And that can in turn throw us off. It can throw us out of balance. We can get disappointed sometimes. We can be sad sometimes, angry, frustrated, all these different things. When the thing about that is, what that does is it just throws you off of your journey to what you really want, which is happiness, peace, love, and all this stuff. And so you kind of start, if you don't pull yourself out of it, you may end up in a cycle of just hurt and imbalance and this and that, and I'm lost and I want to find my way and all these different things. As you balance those chakras, you will not feel that way. You will feel like you know where you are, because you are getting to a place where you should be. You should be anchored into the universe, which is where your chakras are. And that's, you know, that's mama there. That's your chakra. That's your temple. And these stones help you out to do that. I had a brother, one of my clients, he said, These things are like equalizers. And I agree. If you want to amplify your energy, if you want to decrease something, you have the gemstones in order to help equalize that. So I agree with him. It's the stones are definitely equalizer. So I hope that explained like how the stones work with you. I tried to explain it in the best way possible. Now that we know how they work, if you're still interested, good morning. Now that I explained it, if you're still interested, I'm sure you're wondering, well, how do I choose stones? I have about 33 stones in my stock. There are so many more. When I say so many more, and people are still finding new stones, you know. And when I say find a new stone, it's not just the color, but the composition of it. So, you know, the composition of it is tested. What is it made of? You know, how much energy does it possess? And so more and more stones are coming about that people are naming and saying, you know, oh, this is another stone. But so how do you choose them? I say if you are not one that's kind of like in tune with your energy enough to kind of hover over the stone, because sometimes people use their own energy, but you have to kind of harness that energy because and I use my right hand, which I consider to be my power hand. And in order for me to feel any of the stones, if I'm choosing new, good morning. If I'm choosing new stones, I have to harness my energy in my right hand. So how I do that, and I can't really explain this. This is something you just have to feel. But if you come to my class on May 19th, you'll learn about Reiki and how to harness energy. And so that's a good one for you too. But you harness your energy for a little while. And then if you hover over the stone, you should be able to feel which one is kind of like popping off energy for you. And sometimes your eye will lead you to the stone, you know, those type of things. You also have different tools that you can use to choose. They have what those things called, pendulums, I think they're called. I can't remember what they're called, but you kind of hold it over the stone and it'll kind of show you what stone is jumping out to you. There are so many stones that resonate with me. How do I choose? Yes, that's what I'm talking about right now. So what I say the easy way to do is study some stones. You know, grab a crystal Bible, grab Rock of Ages. It's a book that I really love that talks about different gemstones. But read up on it. And on my website, queenyenn.com, if you go to my shop, it has all the descriptions of the stones, what those stones are for, the pictures of them, so you can see how they look. I would say do that first. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if I'm sitting here, like at my pop-up shops, I have a little book that has all the description of the stones that I have. So if I don't know, I'm looking at this table of beautiful stones, I don't know what to get, I'm going to go and read the description. So for instance, epidote. Epidote, which is a black stone that has some pink speckles in it, enhances the energy of whatever it touches. A great stone for releasing negative and raising one's vibrational energy. Puts forth a simple calming, grounding, back to earth vibration, increases personal power, clears the emotional body aura, and even increases memory. I mean, who knew? So for me, I look at that and say, maybe, you know, that might be something good. So study your gemstones, you know, like I said, just explore a crystal Bible, browse the internet. If you're dealing with, also another way is think about what you're dealing with, what you want to amplify in your life and what you want to decrease in your life. Are you dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety? Are you dealing with desire for love? Are you dealing with the desire for balance? Is there some type of negative force that's around you that you feel like you need to dispel? Are you feeling real like heavy where you feel like you can't balance yourself? There are stones for that. Are you in a work environment where people are mad negative and it's impacting you and you don't really want to leave the job, but you really want the energy to shift? There are stones for that. You know what I mean? It's Brichetted Jasper is a classic one. For anxiety, epidote is a beautiful stone for that. For someone who always you get caught up in your emotions and you don't allow yourself to make choices outside of your emotions, there's a stone for that. Amazonite is a great stone for that. So think about what you have going on with yourself and then choose that way. So that's a great way to choose. You can also get a reading. It's different types of readings. Not all readings are like, Miss Cleo, call me now. That's not all readings. I mean, you do have some that's like that, but Not all readings are like that. So you have the 13 planet reading. You can get a numerology reading. You can get an astrology reading. You can get a plethora of them. And if you email me at info@queenyenn.com, I can suggest some. I can definitely suggest some people to do your readings that I have used that I definitely swear by. And they can tell you what stones you need. Well, and really with the readings, it's not necessarily telling you what stones you need. It's more kind of reading your energy. And so once you know where your energy is, you know what you need to do. So for instance, my 13 planet reading by Femi, the sister who I always tell people definitely get a reading by her. She is dynamic. Once I read that, I was able to see, man, these stones will be good for me so I can amplify some of that energy that I may be in my star moon lineup. It didn't come down to me. Like patience. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need a stone to help me out with that. And then also if I am, like if my reading clearly is saying I'm powerful, I'm forceful, I am you know, anything that reads to your mind like possibly could be an imbalance in it, then I'll get a stone that can help me to stay balanced. So that's how I choose my stones. And I hope that answers the questions. Once I choose them, you know, once you pick them, you go into things like, oh yeah, citrine is for manifestation. I got the rose quartz for the love and, you know, soft heart, keep my heart soft while I'm going through this human experience. I got my chestnut jasper for my grounding, keep me grounded. I got my appreciated jasper for those people getting on my nerves at work, so I can go ahead and transfer that energy to positive energy so I can impact that so the vibe can be right. And I have my chrysoprase, which is my prosperity stone, where it's a stone of opportunity. I got all my stones. Good. You get your stones, you're getting ready to take them home. First and foremost, if you're with a good practitioner or a good person who sells stones, they're going to cleanse the stones for you first. I always cleanse my entire stock of stones. I charge my entire stock of stones. When I'm setting up my table, I cleanse the stones once I put them out. I cleanse the area that's around them. I keep the stones pristine. But if you're going into a store that is like a mass produced, a store that has like super big inventory, and people can come in, just the public can come in, most likely those gemstones carry a lot of energy because a lot of them absorb energy. And then other ones, you know, it don't necessarily absorb energy, but energy is still around them. And these are literally amplifications of energy of Mama Earth. So you want them to be clean. And when I say clean, I mean you want them to be balanced. You want them to be as powerful as you want it to be. And you want to kind of open their energy up so they can connect with your chakra energy. So the first thing you want to do is cleanse them. And I have a couple of different ways that you can cleanse them. I don't have my smudge bundle with me right now, but I do have my Palo stick. So this is a Palo Santo stick. I do have these available. They're not online yet. They are at my will be at my pop-up shop. But they're not online yet. They will be. So you just light the Palo Santo stick as such. You just keep the smoke on it. I mean, the fire on in a minute. And then you just hold your stone right in the smoke. If you can see what I'm doing. I kind of, let's see. You can see it a little bit. I just make sure that all the smoke gets all around the whole stone. I try my best to roll the stone all around all the smoke. This is one way you can cleanse it. The Palo Santo smoke is very cleansing. It's a purifier, just as sage is. And it's not only a spiritual, you know, purifier, but it's also known to have healing agents on the physical body as well when you burn that smoke. So you just take all your stones and you do just that. You just put it, sorry, I can't see. Can't see the smoke. And the Palo Santo is one of those amplifiers as well. So the Palo Santo, I cleanse and charge my stones with the Palo Santo, because the Palo Santo is one that you want to really use when you want fire to it. You want that charge to your meditation. So I like to use Palo Santo in my meditation. When I'm really trying to amplify the energy, I definitely like to use them on my gemstones when I'm trying to amplify, cleanse and amplify the energy of the gemstone. So that's one way. You can use the Palo Santo stick or a smudge bundle. I don't have the smudge bundle with me, but you can also use a smudge bundle as well. Sage smudge bundle, that is. Another way I have oils. I use oils on my gemstones. So sometimes I'll do a sun charge or a sun cleanse. If I'm doing a sun cleanse or a moon cleanse, meaning I'm going to sit the stone out in the sun or sit the stone out in the moon. Be careful with the sun, though, because the sun does impact the color of some of the stones. And some people like the color. I like the color. So, for instance, you put a rose quartz that look like this, that pink into the sun, it may begin to get a little bit more clear. So you want to be careful with that if you want to keep the integrity of the color. So nonetheless, if I'm going to sit it out in the sun or the moon, I'll first, if I'm cleansing it, I'll first put cedar wood on it, and then I'll sit it out. And I'll set my intentions. You always want to set your intentions. When you cleansing, when you're charging, when you're using your stones, you want to set your intentions. So your intentions, if I'm putting this on here, I'm just going to set my intentions. May the energy be balanced so it may the energy be balanced so it can continue to assist me on my journey. I give thanks for this energy. You just want to kind of give thanks, put some words to it. You know what I mean? And tell what, and just say what you want it to do. And then you just take this oil and you really just put a couple of drops on it. It doesn't take much. This is cedar wood. So cedar wood definitely doesn't take much. So you put it, drop it on there, and then you just rub it over it, you know? And you rub it over all your stones before you take it out to the moon. So, and some people like to put it on the windowsill in the moon, and then other people like to, they like to bury them. You can bury them as well during the full moon. Just don't lose them. I got a customer, or yeah, a sister who put them out, and during the full moon, she forgot where she put them. So yeah, so you can do that for the full moon. Cleanse them, and then to charge them using oil. Because remember, we said Palo stick. You can use the Palo sticks to charge it. Palo is an amplifier. You can use the sun. You can use the moon to cleanse and charge them. For the charging of it, if I'm using oil, I'll use something like patchouli. You can use patchouli or cinnamon or dragon's blood. Those are all really good for charging the stone. So you take it, and just like we just did, we cleanse them. Now we want to amplify them. You just drop one little drop on there, the patchouli. It doesn't need much. Patchouli and cedarwood, those are very thick. And if you're one who purchased oils, you know that patchouli is not that cheap either. So you just need one little drop, and you rub it in your hands. Now, here's a charge. This is the natural charge that you can do. You put the oil on the stone. You have it in your hand. I like to use it in my right hand, my power hand. This is my citrine. And I know what I use my citrine for. I use my citrine when I go out to network. I use it when I'm going to do a training. I want my light to shine. I want to really connect. I want to really flow in the crowd. I don't want to be nervous. I want to be able to channel very clearly. I use my citrine because this is like your personal sun. This is your inner sun. So when I set my intentions and charge this, I'm going to visualize a sun. I'm going to visualize me standing tall. Like I can literally see it in my mind now, me standing tall, and there's sunlight all around me, and I'm walking, and people see the sunlight, and it's very bright. That's what I'm visualizing. That's charging my stone. I'm also going to try to feel the feeling of what it feels like to be in a space and shine so brightly. What does it feel like? So I'm just like feeling the vibes, you know. I feel real relaxed, and that's how you charge it. You really want to just, that's what's working with your stone. When you hear me say work with your stone, it's like pick it up and do some visualization, quick visualization. Get used to learn how to visualize quickly, like learn how to do it where at a drop of a dime, you can do some visualization and get your manifestation sparking, shoot. Because once you start visualizing and once you feel it, whatever you focus in your mind on, you got it. That's how you get it right there. That's how you get it. So these gemstones, it helps you with that. It helps you to visualize. I'm talking about it right now. As much energy that I'm putting around it, even with the citrine stone, it's special oils I can put on it to amplify even more, like lemon or anything bright yellow. I can get me a bright yellow cloth. I can wear a yellow shirt that day or something bright that day. Wear my citrine, drink me some lemon tea with some ginger in it. That's fire and inspirational. And now you energize. That's living intentionally. Whenever you hear me say living intentionally, it's like when you know what you're doing that day and you need that light, grab your citrine stone, drink you some lemon and ginger tea. Wear you a bright color. Speak affirmations of brightness and light. Shining. That's all the energy that you can put into your electromagnetic field to help you manifest. So that's how you charge it, when you just using just your mind, just your hands. And believe it or not, that I know that sounds mystical. Just put it in your hands and visualize it, and you charge your stone. I know how mystical that might sound. But if you look at it scientifically, you break it all the way down. Your thoughts are energy. Your words are energy. That's why you heard me speaking the affirmation as I spoke it. Like, may this stone be, I speak it. I say it out loud. May this stone be, because my words have frequency. My thoughts have frequency. Me doing this has frequency. Me wearing my copper, that's the purpose. I mean, I like it. It's cute and I like the jingle ding, but it's also an energy conductor. So conducting all that energy. So when I step out, I have the energy of the universe on my side, and I've made intentions, and I'm carrying that with me. Now, does that mean, I like to answer this question and address this, does that mean if I leave this citrine stone somewhere else, I won't have the energy that I'm talking about? No, because remember, these stones connect with the energy that we already have. So we already are a sum total of all these gemstones. So no, if you leave your gemstones, it's not like you just gonna not live your life. However, if you want to live your best, fullest life, and you live this same human life that I'm living, I know for sure I need some help sometimes, because if not, oh, these chakras would be so off balance. Look, I could never live my fullest life you know what I'm saying, if I didn't have support. But support for me doesn't just look like gemstones. So, I'm not that gemstone person that like, oh, you don't have gemstones. I mean, I kind of do feel like everybody should have some gemstones. And when people don't have them, I kind of be like, oh, girl, let me give you one. But I know that's only because I've just gotten so used to having them. And I always have them on me, a bag of them. Like, I got a pocket full of stones. Anyway, y'all ain't from the South. Y'all know nothing about that. If you're from the South, don't judge me. All right. So I've gone over, what are they? How are they impactful? How do you choose them? How do you cleanse them? How do you charge them? Other ways to charge them. I talked about charging them with some charging oil like patchouli, cinnamon, and putting them in the sun, so that sun charge, and putting them in the moon for the cleansing. But another way to charge them is that you can pray over them. Like, you can just speak over all of them like I did. And another way to cleanse them, charge them, you can also run them through fire, as long as it's a stone that can go through that, that's kind of like a charge up. Another way that you can cleanse them, it was just on top of my mind. Another way that you can cleanse them is, where was I going with it? Oh my gosh, I think I already said you bury them. Yes. Oh, how could I forget? I'm sitting in front of the ocean right now. You can take it to a natural body of water, like the ocean, like a natural spring, and they can cleanse that way. That's another way you cleanse them. Just hold on to them. And I have this little thing, like, that you collect gold, that you sift gold, like the miners. So when I put it on there, it doesn't fall off or anything into the water. How long should they sit in the sun? I have sat stones in the sun for a whole lunar cycle before. It just really depends on what you're trying to do, you know, what kind of charge you're trying to get. You want a quick charge. You want to be more intentional and charge it all throughout the new moon. You know, the new moon is very amplifying. The new moon is great for planting seeds and prosperity and manifestation around a new moon period of the month. So sometimes I'll take the stone 3 days before on the new moon and 3 days after and put it in the sun and let it get the sun charged that way. But you want to just be careful with what it is. My quartz, I don't put out in the sun that much. You know, I don't put my quartz out in the sun that much. I do put my more earthier stones out in the sun. And they can sit there, you know, for a while. It's just with my quartz, I particularly don't like to mess with the integrity of the color of the stone. So I don't put it out in the sun like that. Not like that. I'd rather charge it in another way, like fire. I'll use fire to charge those. All right, so I've talked about all those. Now let's just talk about, give you some specifics. And here's where you really need your pen and paper, because I'm going to talk about just what stones to use for like everyday life issues. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So everybody want to manifest. We are manifesting. If we're speaking, if we're thinking, we are manifesting. I know that for sure. And sometimes I get frustrated with myself, with my thoughts and, you know, sometimes my words, because I'm like, I know better. Let me switch up that thought, man. Switch up those words. So your manifestation stones, I think I like these 3, which is the citrine is a really good one. And those are available at the pop-up shop at Iwi Fresh from 2 to 6 today. And the green calcite, that's green calcite. Very good for fertility, not just having physical babies. Relax. Fertility meaning like your whole life is fertile. Every seed you plant manifests. You know, every great thought you have for your highest good manifest. That's fertile. That's green calcite. Citrine, that's that amplifier where your electromagnetic field is very attractive. That's with the citrine. So, of course, you manifest. If your electromagnetic field is very attractive, you're going to manifest. So with the citrine now, if you're holding this citrine, you vow to speak positively and vow to only think about and speak the things that you want in your life, because you are going to be manifesting whatever it is. So you better be careful with your words and your mind, your thoughts. And then chrysoprase is the other one. Chrysoprase is another manifestation stone. So I just went over 3 manifestation stones that I use that I like. That's that chrysoprase, citrine, and green calcite. You do have other ones that are primed for prosperity, like your zebradorite. Zebradorite, that's spelled like zebra and then dorite. Zebradorite, citrine, chrysoprase, green calcite. I would say those are the ones. And aventurine as well. You know, I don't have aventurine. I cannot, for the life of me, I cannot stock my aventurine back for right now, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm just going to keep speaking it. All right. So that's manifestation. Grounding. Everyone needs grounding. We go to different places in the world. We're doing different things in this lifetime. So we need grounding. Your jaspers are your grounding stones. So you have chestnut jasper, desert jasper, brecciated jasper, green jasper. You have a lot of different jaspers. And if you go on my website, queenyenn.com, you can look in the store and it'll have all the descriptions of the different jaspers, because although they all in general are grounding, they are different in the way they are grounding. So, you know, this is Kambaba jasper. I love the Kambaba jasper. They call it crocodile jasper as well. You see, because it has like the crocodile dots on there. This one is desert jasper. And that's amazing. It looks like a desert, so I can see where they get it from. I love, you know, a lot of people prefer the tumble stones because they're pretty. I love the look of raw stones. I mean, I love it. Desert jasper is a happy stone. They call that the happy stone. If you really want to resonate with happiness in your life, you get your desert jasper. You know, you really feeling down and out, you want to get your desert jasper, because if your energy flows there, that's where it's going to go. So, you know. And then that's the chestnut jasper. These are all my personal ones that I've been working with for some time now. Some people say, oh, mine don't look like that because, you know, they get them fresh from me and they're straight from mama. You got to work with your stones. My stones look like they've been worked with. I put oil on them. I charge them. I hold them with me throughout the day, you know, all those different things. So jaspers are your grounding stones. Chestnut jasper is the classic one. Get you a chestnut jasper and you're good. You get the other ones to kind of amplify certain things. This is a brecciated jasper. Looks a little bit like the chestnut jasper, but if you notice, it has a darker hue in it. That's hematite. It actually has hematite in the stone, so it explains how brecciated jasper is a it transforms negative energy into positive energy, and hematite is a healer, so it makes sense. So this is a great one to keep you on your square and to transform those imbalanced energies that may be around you. So your jaspers are your grounding energies. Your spiritual, psychic, higher self stones, like your all chakra, third eye crown. These are the ones that really connect with your intuition, your gut feelings. You know, you're really in a good space if you can see what's going on in life. If things are not just happening to you, you know things are responding to you. You can feel it happening. You can know what's going on. You can read people's minds. You can read people's faces, their demeanor. Like, when you really get that flow where you're really reading nature, you're really reading humanity, then you really are aware. You really are woke, as people would say. And the quartz ones are really good for that. So your clear quartz, this is your clear quartz, your rose quartz. You even have agate. I like agate for that type of vibe as well. You know, just heightening my godly sense, my universal divine sense, you know, and that's that. So, and the green stones in general offer prosperity. I did that. Oh, anxiety. I don't have one in front of me, but if you deal with a lot of anxiety or obsessiveness, epidote is a good way, as well as rhodonite. Rhodonite is RHODONITE. Rhodonite is really good. And the epidote, EPIDOTE. As a matter of fact, I'm going to type those in here. Epidote, that's for anxiety. And the reason why I really want people to get into the anxiety stones is because anxiety is what really keeps us from manifesting what we want. That's for anxiety. Anxiety really keeps us from that, because anxiety creates fear. It creates all these different emotions that don't have to be there. Like, we just have to kind of relax, you know, relax and allow, relax and receive. So those are two for anxiety. Any other ones? Y'all shout out some. I purchased some bismuth and titanium quartz. How do you feel about those? Jody, I like both of those. Especially titanium quartz is a very powerful all chakra stone. Very powerful. Very powerful. Cleanse that stone quite often. You know, and when I say quite often, I would say at least once a month. And I definitely would say around full moon during the month. So definitely, I think you should do that for sure. So other things, anxiety, people want oh, yes. Healing. People want emotional, spiritual healing. You feel like you can't find your purpose in life. You feel like you can't quite get out of a slump. You feel like you're not manifesting. Get your protection and your cleansing stones. Cleansing because you want to dispel anything that no longer serves you, any kind of emotions, any kind of attachment to anything on this human, in this physical plane that you are attached to. You want to release that. So you have stones that help you to kind of detach from those feelings, because it can be tough sometimes. So that release can be tough. So get that obsidian, black obsidian, snowflake obsidian, tourmaline. Those are all great. The obsidian specifically is like dynamic. Black obsidian is dynamic. So, and then you work with those. And in my experience, they have been very impactful for the healing. And then also for protection, if you really feel like you're in a space in life right now where you're moving out of, but you ain't out of it yet, where you have some conflicting energies, or, you know, you feel like you're being impacted and you wouldn't have been if you're not in that space and time, use your tourmaline for protection. It keeps you protected. And if you couple that with the chestnut jasper, or any of the jaspers, you stay grounded in that protection, so you'll be all right. You can float through those spaces. And sometimes we find ourselves in those spaces, nothing wrong with that. You know, it's all good. As we begin to vibrate on what we really want, we'll change. We won't be in those spaces forever. You know, as we put out in the universe that we want to move away from those spaces, we will. So it's no worries. Don't feel bad if you're in those spaces. You have attracted it. We attract everything in our lives. You did attract that space, but you can also attract getting out of that space. So always just be cognizant of that. And I think that's it. I've covered everything that I said that I will cover today, and I left about 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you have any questions, please do feel free to ask those questions. Remember, I am considering this a class. I mean, we've had a couple of questions, so I haven't felt like I've been lecturing too much, but definitely want to open up for questions. And remember, if you're out in the Atlanta area today is April 28th, 2018. It is now 9:49 in Atlanta. And the pop-up shop is at 2 p.m. at Iwi Fresh Garden Day Spa off of Nelson Street. How do I charge and cleanse pyrite? So many say don't cleanse pyrite. Let's be clear. They said don't. It doesn't need cleanse. It doesn't need charged. But people say that about all stones. I would say for the cleansing of that, keep it subtle. Keep it at just your smudging. I don't have my smudge bundle with me. Or you can just put your cedar wood on there. I would definitely say just grab a cedar wood, a sandalwood. Both of those are healing. Cedar wood, sandalwood. I would say cleanse it with that and get your oil. Get you some essential oils and do your oil for the charging of it as well. Patchouli is a beautiful charger of your stones. And I'm not endorsing now. I actually... it's one of my ones that I really like, but I have other brands that I like. So it's no endorsement of now. It's endorsements of essential oils. Preferably if you can even make yours. Any other questions? Give thanks for the question. Lovely. Thanks for the questions. Any other questions on gemstones? I spoke a little bit about lunar cycles. I don't teach a lot about lunar cycles in my gemstone class, but of course, lunar cycle come up because Mama Moon really impacts the energy that we're dealing with right here on Earth. So it would behoove you to know what energy is going on in the cosmos with the moon in order to decide what stone maybe you're working with that day, or what stone you'll be working with that week, or that lunar cycle, that cycle. You want to know what's going on. So just briefly, while I wait on more questions, what you basically want to know is that you have the new moon cycle. After the new moon, you have the waxing moon. Then you have a full moon. Then you have the waning moon. So the new moon is when you plant your seeds. The 3 days before, the day of, and the 3 days after the new moon are very high times for planting seeds in your life, for speaking affirmations, for doing your prayers, for doing your meditations. New moon is the time for that, you know, for planting your seeds of prosperity, wealth, health, anything you want to plant your seeds of. And during that waxing moon period right afterwards, when the moon starts to grow, you want to focus in on what you want to increase in your life. Be sure not to focus so much on material things. Those are great, but think about, why do you want those material things? That's what you really want to manifest in your life. You want to manifest essence. You want to manifest feelings. You want to manifest your aura. You know what you want to embody. Peace. I want to embody peace. I want to embody prosperity. Everything about me is prosperous. Everything about me is peaceful, happy, it's love. All of those different things that we want to do. And secure, you know, that's what those big houses do for people. It gives them a sense of security, or it gives them a sense of importance. But you don't really, we want to embody that. We want all those things that our external physical things help us to feel. We want to begin to feel them internally. Once you begin to do that, then things will manifest easily for you, because as you resonate, so you see. If I embody prosperity, prosperity is going to be all around me in whatever, not just money, in whatever, in my network, in my friendships, in my love, in my everything that I do, if I embody it. So new moon and a waxing moon is a good time to really think about what you want to embody in your life and plant those seeds, not just for like, I want a man, you know what I'm saying? Why do you want a man? If the man you really want, think about how he makes you feel. And then that's what you want to plant the seeds as. I want to feel da 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 da. Then tack that on, and I wanted to look like this. Or I wanted to do this, you know, but think about that essence. So that's new moon and waxing moon. Then during the full moon period, that's your healing time. That's when you're releasing. That's when you get rid of things, you know, that no longer serves you, no longer wants your life. So stones that will work good with new moon are your manifestation stones, your third eye, your intuitive stones, all those. And the things that will work, the stones that will work well with your full moon and waning moon. Full moon is about releasing things that no longer serve you. I use scripting and the element of fire. I write it down, then I burn it, you know, on the full moon. Then during the waning moon period, you want to think about the things you want to decrease. And so continue to think about the things you want to decrease in your life, because the moon will be slowly but surely decreasing back into that new moon. During that time, the stones that would be good would be your healing stones, your grounding stones. Those would be your stones that you would like during the full moon and the waning moon period. Can I wear my stone in a pool or ocean when swimming? Especially hematite. I was told hematite cannot touch any type of water. Hematite can, okay, well, hematite is a sensitive stone. It definitely breaks very easily. Well, yeah, quite easily. Not very, but quite easily. So sometimes people tell you, keep it out of fire, keep it out of water if it breaks, like the calcites are as well. I tell people not to do the water or the fire stone. But hematite, in my experience, have been quite strong. So yeah, you can definitely wear them in the, you can do something like this where you get it wrapped, you know, where it's in like a, somewhat like a cage, so that you can have it on you and just tuck it. You know, I don't always wear my stones out, you know, just tuck it. But if you feel like it's going to come out, I guess that's not your concern. Your concern is letting the water touch it against what the person advised you. But I definitely have put all of mine in water. And like I said, I specifically have gotten to know very well about between 30 and 40 stones. I don't know all of them. And so what I do is I just browse the web for information. It's great information out here, thankfully. And then also just choose a book that's really good that you can reference for your gemstone work. I like Rock of Ages. It's a book by, I think the author name is Ras Ben, Rasben. And he talks a lot about, and he doesn't just give it like the crystal Bible. The crystal Bible just gives you the name of the stone, and it gives you like the composition and what to work with the chakras. Rock of Ages give you some historical context of gemstones, and then breaks down the science of all type of stuff when it comes with gemstones and energy. So Rock of Ages is one of my definitely favorite ones when it comes to gemstones. But the next one to that, of course, is like a crystal Bible book, you know, that kind of gives you the basics. So definitely check it out. And if you're leery about putting your stones in water or in fire, browse the web first before you do it. Just type in there, can my such and such get wet? And do your research. You know, look at 3 or 4 different sources. So, you know, it's not just one. So you can make sure it's accurate. And then I try to look for sources that kind of give me the science of it so I can totally understand. You're welcome, lovely. Any other questions? We got about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I want to keep it right at 1 hour. And thank you all for those who joined me and stayed on. I know this was a little, I hope it wasn't a mix up from it being live, because usually I'm in person, but I am traveling right now. But I said I am not going to cancel because the last one had to be canceled. So I wanted to do it live stream, offer it for you all live stream, answer your questions. And then, as I stated, the pop-up is still going on, even though I'm traveling. The pop-up is still going on at Iwi Fresh Garden Day Spa from 2 to 6 p.m. today. I have the sister who always support me at my events. So if you've been to my events or anything, you know she's there. She's very knowledgeable of the materials, I'm very grateful for her. She's definitely a blessing. So she's there. She'll be there from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. today so that you can grab your goodies. When is the newsletter coming out? Now, one just left. One just came out a couple of days yesterday. What's today? Saturday, Thursday. But then the energy report, that will be coming out probably next week or the following. I know it'll be right at the top of the month. I know I already did a lot of the content, and so the back of the house is working on it. So it will be released next week or the following after that. So again, your classic ones that you should know if you're just tuning in. Chestnut Jasper is great. I live in Philly, so if you travel in the future, I will attend. Excellent. Chestnut Jasper is great for grounding, and any other jasper. Citrine, green calcite, chrysoprase for your prosperity stones or green stones in general. Anxiety will be your rhodonite and your epidote. Those two are very great with anxiety. Then you have your quartz crystals that are really good with intuition. Remember, we want to be able to see stuff that's happening. We want to be flowing with life, not just being knocked by it like, oh, I didn't even see that coming. Oh no, we don't want to be like that. So get your intuition game up, get your gut feelings game up. And so you can really flow and be a part of this universal current, not fighting against it all the time or rolling with it. Like, just with your eyes closed, like, no, you don't have to be like that. You can flow with it. So those are the classic ones, and all of them are available on my website. I'm going to type my website in now so that you can check it out. If you check out the store, all of the stones that I have in stock, they are on there, and they have descriptions as well as the spiritual baths, the aura sprays, the prayer beads. And I do classes about all of that other stuff as well. We're just focusing on gemstones today. But I talk about how to create spiritual baths. I do classes on how to use your prayer beads very impactfully. Also, I talk about how to use your aura sprays, how to make your own aura sprays. So just basically how to keep your energy up, how to keep your energy amplified so you can keep on manifesting and healing and even being agents of change for other people. So Mr. Murray, you can get my newsletter by going to my website that I just typed in there, queenyenn.com. Go to the bottom of any of the pages and my newsletter, the sign up will be there. So go to queenyenn.com, go to the bottom of any of the pages, and you can put your email in there to subscribe. So subscribe to get that energy report. If you all have not subscribed yet, please do so. Go ahead. You're very welcome. Get the energy report every month. I'll be talking about what's going on in the month. I think it's very important for you to know energetically what's going on during the month. I think you can really live such an impactful life. I mean, seriously, I have so many testimonials for myself, not mention the other people who send me testimonials, but just for myself, just knowing how to live intentionally. This last Mercury retrograde was one of the most powerful Mercury retrograde in a very good way for me. And, people are freaked out about Mercury retrograde a lot, but it was very impactful for me because I knew how to use the energy. When you know how to use the energy in the cosmos and the energy around you, that's when you really can tap in and flow, with the universal current of abundance. Because there is literally a universal current of abundance that systems have been put in place for us not to know about. Because if we knew about them, it wouldn't be a lot of these capitalistic systems that's happening. We would know how to heal ourselves. We would know how to produce enough money for all of our needs and wants and more. We would stop being so religious and get more spiritual. So the religious system, they'll start losing money and losing people. If we really were enlightened beings and really was tapped into the universal current that everyone has access to, that literally everyone has access to, from the tree to you. But it get in our way because we spiritual beings having a human experience. So the tree don't have all these, these problems. The birds don't have all these worries. You know what I'm saying? We walking around here with worries, sadness, resentment. We holding on to different things. And so just getting ourselves in line and living intentionally can really help us out with that. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, I can't help it. I'm trying to, there we go. So, so it's that's why I say Learning how to live intentionally is important because we don't really have to live a life that's so stressful, that's so hard, that's so, going in the same cycles over and over again. We really, truly, truly is not the case. We don't have to live like that. Long as we learn about the energy, the cosmos, learn a little bit about it. And I'm not saying learn all the way about all about astronomy or I'm not saying that. I'm saying just learn just the basics. Water. I'm looking at the ocean now. Water has energy, and the energy in that water can be healing. That's where you get water therapy from. You know what I'm saying? They have studied the therapeutic aspects and the science of natural water, natural bodies of water, and then they mimic it. So but learning that and learning about stones and learning about the different oils and learning about the different herbs and learning about how to train your mind in order to manifest and heal, that's what we want to do. And that's what I'm out here to do. I'm very passionate about it. So I love to teach about it, love to talk about it. And you can tell because I've gone over 1 hour and I don't see any more questions. So at this point, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. And I pray if you are in Atlanta that you would go out to Iwi Fresh Garden Day Spa. Look on the Eventbrite that you signed up for, 341 Nelson Street, and pick up your goodies. And if you have any other questions, you can come out to the next Gemstones 101 class that will be live in Atlanta if I'm not traveling. So you can register there at Queen Yenn, Eventbrite.com. And you can come out live and have your questions. You can also send me questions. And I'm doing more videos. I'm doing more videos and putting them on my YouTube with the different topics. So if you just kind of shoot me out a topic, info@queenyenn.com, just put video suggestion. Tell me what you want to know, and I'll try to do a video on it. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. Go out to Iwi Fresh, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Bless you as well, sis. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Iwi Fresh for the pop-up shop, and queenyenn.com if you're not in Atlanta. Shout out to everybody who tuned in from Philly and other places that's outside of Atlanta. I give thanks for you all as well. I give thanks for your support, and I give thanks for being able to walk your journey with you as well. Want more information on me? queenyenn.com. Not follow me on social media, Facebook, Queen Yenn, Instagram, Queen Yenn Gems, Yaninga, Adunya, all of those different things. That's me. So go to those places and follow. All right, y'all. Peace and love. Much peace. Many blessings to y'all.